guest for our show is the first woman wildlife photographer of our country, Radhika Ramaswamy.
So I fell in love with birds. Okay, that is the first time I'm seeing beautiful, colorful birds in front of my eyes. My experience.
So, ma'am, like as you said, your parents are really supportive. So, after doing any engineering in computer science, when you said them that I want to pursue photography and that too wildlife photography, so how was the reaction, ma'am?
If you study computer, you will be inside the AC room. Okay, those days it's compulsory to keep computer AC room. So you need not go outside and all. It's easy stuff. You can work on AC rooms. So that's the first reason he explained me that those days.
Which recognition gave you most satisfaction?
Tamil Nadu government, they featured me a small note on 10th class standard book, like environment subject. They featured me as a wildlife photographer, Radhika Ramaswamy. Small features, but it was happy moment for me.
So, ma'am, what was the maximum amount of time you waited for some shot?
I think more than 1 or 2 days for one species. Okay, but longest dream, the Himalayan monal. I took one photograph of Himalayan monal. It took, I think, more than 5-6 years. I think this is one of my favorite, most photographed tiger.
It's like she's ready for a selfie.
Yes, yeah.
So beautiful.
I am not a early morning person. I never got up before 7 o'clock in my college days also. But because of wildlife, I usually got up 4:30. I do watch beautiful sunsets and sunrise.
What can you suggest to students to get successful in photography field?
Try to be unique. Try to create your own style. Definitely, then it will be a USP for your professionals.
So good evening, everyone present here. So firstly, before we get into the session, first I would like to tell something about our club NSS. NSS is a club in VIT which aims and volunteers social service. This club have conducted a lot of social programs to the benefit of the society. We have important projects like Mission Prakrit, See Their Smiles, Gurukul, etc., which aim at making the society a better place, and many more to come. So this year, NSS was selected as the best club of VIT Chennai. So we are waiting to achieve more and more things. So this is all about our club NSS, VIT Chennai. So firstly, I'll tell you about the show Hero Nights. Hero Nights is a talk show where iconic people come and give their views that are valuable to all of us. I'm Shri Lahari, host for the show. Now, without wasting much time, let me introduce our first guest. The guest for our show is the first woman wildlife photographer of our country. Her excellent photography skills gave her recognition worldwide. She is a nature lover and uses photography as a powerful medium to promote environmental conservation. She follows her heart and makes her part. She is none other than Radhika Ramaswamy. Welcome you to the show Hero Nights, ma'am.
Thank you for the invitation, Chidlagati, and thank you for Group VSSR Club also. It's my pleasure to be here today to interact with you all. I'm really looking forward to the session.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell a few words about yourself, which me and my team are eagerly waiting to know?
About myself, I born near Theni, Venkatasapuram, down south in Tamil Nadu. Now I am based in Chennai. For last 17 years, I am doing wildlife photography. But education, I am a computer engineer MBA. But I left my corporate job long time back. So I had been to most of the national parks and bird sanctuaries, and abroad also African forests like Tanzania and Kenya and South Asian countries, Malaysia, Thailand, and all. For me, photography is not only just a hobby or professional and all. For me, it's a medium to connect with nature My purpose for the photography is to create awareness about our fauna and flora and the importance of forest with all the climate changes and all. It's for everyone to know the importance of forest and our wildlife also. So
Yes.
I am my small effort. I am doing lot of talks to schools and colleges and workshops also to create awareness. And today I am going to share my experience through your questions. I really looking forward to this session.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Definitely your photographs are making a great impact. Okay, ma'am. So now I request Bala Murugan sir to say a few words.
Yeah, first I would like to join with Sri Lagari and with others. On behalf of VIT Chennai and behalf of NSS, we would like to give warm welcome to Radhika Ramasamy ma'am for our show. Really, ma'am, we thankful to you for accepting our invitation. As I said earlier, even I didn't contact you, even VIT officials didn't contact you. We have given full responsibility to our students. They take care of to conduct what various programs. We trained them in such a way. So they contacted you. You accepted. Really thankful for you, ma'am, for accepting our students' invitation. See, I'm not taking much time. Just in 1 or 2 minutes, I conclude my talk. As I said, this is the right time to have interview with you. So this is the rainy season. In particular, this time Tamil Nadu we got good rainfall. In particular, in and around, even at home, also all lakes are filled with water. All birds are started to visit the lake. Even Vadandangal, Kodiyangarai, in other places also, birds are started to visit. So right time we have interview with you. Even in our campus at VIT Chennai campus, which is having in between Vandalur and then Kalambakam. We are living very near to Vandalur Zoo. So we started one pond ecosystem, and then in March 2020, we started to feed the birds to attract more number of birds to our campus. We started that ecosystem in the campus, but unfortunately, the lockdown started. Our students gone to their home. Still that work is not completed. We are going to create big pond system in the campus in order to attract more birds to our campus. So with this few note, really I'm happy to to welcome to VIT Chennai on behalf of NSS VIT. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
That's a great initiative to introduce to our students also for other nature-loving people, no? Just
Yes,
to see the birds and all. That's a great initiative. I wish you all the best. Hope it will be successful in coming days. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
so
very much.
ma'am. Thank you, sir. I would also like to welcome Balamurli sir and Padmanabhan sir to the show. Okay. So, ma'am, can we start with the question answer session?
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, as per your qualifications, you're a computer science engineer. And after your engineering, you have also done a job in IT company. And then later you went for wildlife photography. So, ma'am, how did the entire process go?
Yeah, actually, engineering also my favorite subject because those days visual communication or photography is not like a job option. My mother was a teacher and my father is army officer, so we had to study. And the thing is, a doctor or engineer or other any chartered account something. So I preferred engineering, and my parents are very broad-minded, and they allow me to choose my course, everything, and they gave me full freedom to do whatever the profession I like. So those days there is no such thing as a photography, but it was a hobby for me. Since 10th class, I got my first camera from my father as a gift. So it's like wherever I travel and college educational tour trips and all, usually field trips and family trips also, I carry my film camera, small point and film camera, then SLR camera. Now we have mobile everywhere. So selfie we are taking. So those days I always load my camera with one film. Whenever I go, I usually take photograph. It started like that only. Then I used to travel abroad also for work purpose, other travel, family holidays. So I got interested in travel photography, people, cultures. But around 2003, the first time I visited Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary. I hope my regular fans know this story. So I fell in love with birds. Okay, that is the first time I'm seeing beautiful, colorful birds in front of my eyes. My experience. So it's like Alice in Wonderland. For me, it's like same overwhelming experience. So I thought I want to capture the scenes, and I go back and see the photographs. So just I fell in love. Usually people go for tiger, elephant photography. Birds are a little bit advanced genre because they're very tiny and they're very active. It's very, those days, it's not very high, fast focal lenses are there. So it's very tough to photograph them those days. So it started like that only. It's going to be 17 years. I usually travel most of the national parks and bird sanctuaries. Okay. Though I love animals like elephant, other photography, but I specialize birds. So it started like that only. But the people think you doing computer engineering, all the things, how I change completely entirely frozen. But it's also challenging because you are starting from new field. Okay, I am baby. When I started wildlife photography, I don't know anyone, not anything about marketing, nothing, anything. Only the plus point is being a computer engineer. Those days, analog photography, the DSLR, SLR. So from analog to digital, the transition is very easy for me. Actually, when you are going to buy DSLR, now you need computer to post processing. That is your dark room. Okay. So yes. For me, as a computer engineering, I was having a computer. It was easy for me technically to learn myself how to process all the settings. No, so digital photography was easy for me. Of course, wildlife photography, we had to read a lot about the subjects. So for me also, technically I know, but entirely I had to update myself with knowledges, like field knowledges, everything. You know, it's a slow and learning process. I am a self-taught photographer, but for me, my computer thing helped me to create online album, to be in the showcase my photographs through creating albums, and I manage my websites, and my marketing skills help me to promote my work. Okay, these days you are having social media, but those days only your website, how you present your work in the other forums, everything, it matters. No, so it was helpful for me. So usually say no, any studies you won't went wasted. Okay, it was helped me to grow as in this field also.
Wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. So, ma'am, like as you said, your parents are really supportive. So, after doing any engineering in computer science, when you said them that I want to pursue photography and that too wildlife photography, so how was the reaction, ma'am? What did they tell? How did the entire conversation convincing go on?
Yeah, actually, when my father, the computer engineering is those days it was new subject because we know mechanical and electrical and civil engineering. So my father used to tell me, if you study computer engineering, you will be inside the AC room. Okay, those days it's a compulsory to keep computer AC room. So you need not to go outside and all. It's easy job. You can work on AC rooms. So that's the first reason he explained me that those days. But as a outdoor person, I usually love to be outdoor to nature and all from childhood. So I never imagined that I will be, my working will be in the forest, no ACs and extreme weathers and all. Unfortunately, my father was no more when I entered this thing. But I am sure if he is alive, he would definitely would encourage, because whatever I am now, my father teachings, his ideologies only helped me to grow, because he used to say one thing: do whatever you like. Okay, don't do it for others. That if you don't like, don't do it for others. End of the day, you have to be happy and content what you are doing, be it a work, be it any other things. So this is the mantra I follow. So I'm sure if he is alive, he would have been happy. My mother knows, but initially I never told her that I will be inside the forest and all. So once I told, she was a little bit afraid. As I am only child, she is very protective of me, very possessive also. Wherever I go, I used to update where I am going and all. As everyone knows, being a single child, they're very possessive where I am going, very protective also. But she knows that I love wildlife, then she's okay with me. But whenever I go, I have to call her that I am here, I am safe, I am coming and all. I have to give update.
Definitely all mothers.
That is also my family is also very, husband, everyone is very supportive. So they know me that I like wildlife and nature. So because of the family support, I am still doing in this field.
Good to know that, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, being a woman, have you ever been restricted to do anything? And how is your feeling to be the first woman wildlife photographer in India? Because till the time you came in this profession, no woman was there. So, were there any difficulties? So, tell us.
The thing is, ignorance bless Sweet Lagadi, because those days I have no idea that there is no woman is doing and all. When I started that I am doing photography, that's it. After few years, but whenever I try to contact any females are doing, but I don't have any reference, no one is there. It's a really nascent period of the wildlife photography. But 2000, I think 8, D.D. Doordarshan invited me that you are the first women wildlife photographer. So I'm sure they would have been researched India. Then only they invited me and they featured my work. So now, then only I realized that I am the first woman. But for me, it's okay. If see, there should be always any first one to do. No, I'm happy now. Many girls are doing in this field.
Yes,
And for me, I am doing what I love. That's the matter. So being first or anything, there is no comparison. I'm not comparing anything and anyone, any gender. But fortunately, animals and birds are not gender biased. So I never come across any difficulty because of my gender. Okay, that's of course there are. This is not an easy job. It's not a 9 to 5 job. You should be very strong mentally and physically to be away from home and travel and all. So it depends on the person. It's not for the easy job. If you are comfortable at home, you're not traveling alone, then it's maybe tough for someone like that. But you have to be brave enough to go and travel also. That's very important.
and that is how you became inspiration for many of us, ma'am.
I hope, Slary, if I inspired one or two people, it's very good for me. It's a good thing, no? I hope I inspired many young girls also to in this industry.
Yes, ma'am. Did you ever feel by taking this profession that you have missed out any personal commitments or something like that?
There are always plus and minus in every in the profession. Only one thing, I may miss many weddings, relative weddings, cousins weddings, and all. Some friends, important days. I really missed because when I am traveling, my shooting and all, no, it's pre-booked 3 months before, 2 months before. So suddenly I can't cancel for any personal function. Even my mother also, 4 years before she expired. So that time also, within 1 week, I had to travel for somewhere to shoot workshop. So few things we had to keep aside our personal things in this field. But I do miss talking with my friends regularly and few important things at home. But I love more than birds and being in the nature. So it's okay. Whenever I am in town, definitely I met up with communicating with my family and friends. So it's a quality time. So end of the day, you have to be take what it is. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Does the equipment you carry differ or same, or is it same for all the assignments? Like wherever
It
you go?
depends on the place, depends on the purpose what I carry. Usually for the birds, I usually carry 800 mm lens. It's a long tele lens. It's a very heavy for 4.5 kg lens, okay? And with tripod we have to carry. But always I carry 2 lenses, minimum 2 or 3 lenses. One is for zoom lens because some places we do birds also, animals also. So 80 to 400 Nikon zoom lens I carry and one wide angle lens also. So now recently now I am doing some macro projects also. So 3 camera, 3 lenses, it's a must. Usually, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, what are the recognitions which you have received till now, and which recognition gave you at most satisfaction?
I do get many felicitation and recognition. You would have seen my profile, but the thing is, the most recognized, happiest moment is last year, our Tamil Nadu. It's usually say, no, when your own people appreciate, it gives you more happiness, no. So our Tamil Nadu government, they featured me a small note on 10th class standard book, like environment subject. They featured me as a wildlife photographer, Radhya Ramasamy, small features, but it was happy moment for me because it's going to be a study lesson for the students, because even I also love to create awareness about conservation, wildlife and all. So this young generation itself, they're introducing me to them. That was the happiest moment for me, though I get other recognition and all, other awards and all. And recently I got, last year I think, Pudhiya Thalaimurai gave me award also. Whenever I get awards from our Tamil Nadu, I'm most happiest person. Yeah.
Yes. And next, can you name, like, there is one tiger for which you have named, ma'am. Can you just tell something about her?
Yeah, I usually, my favorite tiger is Sarmili. I don't know where you would have listened this. She is one of the, I think, most loving mother. Okay. I usually, I photograph last 3 years continuously. Tigers are very loving and very hardworking mother. Okay. When I see she is a healthy, and after the litter cubs and all, she become very slim. So I used to wonder, even sitting at home, our mother, when you are becoming parent, becoming mother, you have people to look after you, you feed you whatever you want to eat and all. There are aunties will be there, in-laws will be there, parents will be there looking after. But in the wild, tiger, she has to go herself to kill for herself and babies also. It's a really hard work for the tiger mother. I really impressed with her journey also. So I think you have seen many photographs of her. Yeah.
I saw. Okay, ma'am. When you go for shooting, do you observe any kind of marking which animals make, like regarding that, and how you will like judge that?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
tiger tracking, any animal tracking is a field knowledge, we usually say, because it's a jungle, is a forest, is a big forest. Okay, so where I will find tiger? The first thing we track usually the waterfalls. Like us, early morning we need coffee or our very hot water and all. Same thing, tigers or any animal, they want water. They usually go for water bodies to drink water. So first thing we check waterfalls. The next thing, as soon as you enter the forest, we will check the pug mark. Okay, if it's a tiger is crossed, the pug mark will be fresh. So I should be able to know what is a tiger pug mark or any spotted deer pug mark, any other animal pug mark, either male, female. So these are the basic things I have to know. Of course, when you enter forest, there will be one forest guide from the government. Okay, he must be knowing. But as a photographer also, I should be able to see what animal or pug mark is there. So next we will wait for the alarm call. When tiger comes inside the forest, no, it's a jungle, no, as soon as it walks, the other animals will be very alert. Like a barking deer will give alarm call, and monkeys also will give alarm call. So after hearing alarm call, we usually go there and wait. Then tiger or any animals will come. So these are the technique to track and all. And for example, one tiger have one area, so they don't cross. So for example, particular area, the tiger usually roam around that area only.
wow,
That the
territories.
yes, territory, and they won't allow others to enter. Okay, if any other tiger comes, usually they do marking in the trees. Okay, if any other tiger comes, the fight will come. Even when her own cub, they usually after 2 years they have to go take different area. So this is like to track. So each for birds, it's a different. Birds usually they won't come and sit in front of you. They will be inside the bush. So how to track birds? First, we have to know the food habit, which food they eat, like fruit trees or any other insects they eat. So that if you go there, and definitely you will find that birds. And the habitat is, you have to know which habitat, which altitude that bird is available. So these are the things we have to study before going.
Okay, ma'am. So you do a lot of research.
Research, yes.
You do a lot of research before you go for some
Yes,
for
yes.
shoots and all. Wow, wonderful. And ma'am, like talking about the birds, they won't be at a stable position every time. So you need to wait for, probably you need to wait for hours and hours. So ma'am, what was the maximum amount of time you waited for some shot? Can you like describe that experience?
It depends. It depends on this species, Larry. But sometimes in the sensories, we know the birds will be coming. So within one day you can go. But few times we go all the way to go one place for particular species, and they do have the territorial. One place it will be coming. But for me, I think more than 1 or 2 days for one species. Okay, but longest dream, the Himalayan monal. I took one photograph of Himalayan monal. It took, I think, more than 5-6 years. I was planning to go Sikkim or Himalayas to shoot, but I couldn't go. Whenever I make a plan, it was cancelled a plan. But last year I got that picture. So sometimes in the forest we can't plan. That today that I am going today, that I am going to shoot these species, these animals are bad species. It's all luck also, pre-planned also, and our knowledge about habitat also. So there is nothing that I can't plan. Okay, I am going to shoot like this. Like for example, if I am shooting pheasant shoot, that I have studio pheasant models will be coming, I will be shooting. Here it's nothing like this. Each day is a different. Okay, but with more preparation, I can expect that I can get these pieces like this.
Okay.
It differs.
Okay, ma'am. So before going into session, I would like to tell the participants that you can keep your questions in the chat box. At the end, we will be having a questionnaire session. Okay, so yeah. Next question, ma'am. Did you ever get stuck in a place suddenly due to climate change or something, or some vehicle issue?
It always, most of the time, it happens sometimes because weather is extreme. Though we get all the weather forecast, everything. No, it happened few years back. It's Pangot in Himalayas. The weather forecast says no, like snow and all, no rain. As soon as I landed, the evening is okay. Tomorrow morning we are going to shoot, and morning I was seeing just snow rain, snow falling. So the person told me where we are going to stay. You will be stuck if you stay here. Okay, 2-3 weeks it will take to clear the snow and all ice. So I had to get down from the mountain to other place. So it happens sometimes, but this is one of the things, extreme weather. Because of weather it cancelled. Like for example, last week also I'm supposed to go Carbet, and tomorrow morning I'm playing. Night I'm telling the border is closed because of the farmer strike. So these are the things unexpected. So those time we have to plan B, it is to be there. It's cancelled and all. It happens lot of time within without our interventions, weather and other things also, like COVID. We never expected COVID. I was supposed to go March, Bhutan. So many my shootings are cancelled. So these are beyond our control. It happens.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, and ma'am, according to you, what is like the most dangerous animal? Like when you go for taking a photographs or something like that, or did you ever experience like some animal attacking you or something that might happen, ma'am, in forest? So
yeah, actually,
any such kind of
any other animals and all, we have to keep a distance. Okay, that's why we are shooting with long tele lens. Before entering forest itself, we have to, when you are going to get a permission, it's automatically you are agreeing. If anything happens inside the forest, it's our responsibility. The government or anyone is not going to take responsibility. We can't file a case, anything. It's your going, our own risk we are going. But end of the day, to animals, if you know how they behave, keep a distance, don't enter the comfort zone, then it will be easy. For me, most dangerous animal I can say, I think wild dog and elephants. Okay, wild dog with group pack of wild dog, it's a very danger thing to come across. But we have rule in the forest, we are not supposed to get down. So we have to be in the jeep always for the national park where the predators are there. Bird sanctuaries, it's a different, we have to walk. But there also you come across lot of snakes and all, but we have to be careful. But for me, elephants are very loving and caring. But with the elephants, with the baby, a single tusker and all, sometimes it becomes very dangerous also. 2005 itself, I come across first time in Corbett, the elephant was chasing me. That is the first time I went to Corbett. I had been to Corbett that time. Before that, I never felt the fear and all. Usually I say fear. That time it's a Madurai district. Usually I used to say we are from Madurai. There is no such thing fear in my dictionary. Okay, but that particular day I feared really. First time I felt it's a dangerous thing. But after that I am used to it. Very careful. Happens. End of the day, it's wild animals only. We have to be very careful. See, because we are entering their world, so we should not disturb them. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so next we have the game round. So I request Bharatwaj to present the screen. So in the meantime, I have another question for you, ma'am. Yeah, we have the PPT there. Yeah, I'll just ask you. Next. Yes. Tell us something on this.
Yeah, this is my first candid photo with my film camera in my garden in Venkatachalam I took. It's a coconut tree. I told my father and mother to just you talk, I want to take. After that only I realized it's a candid, this is called candid, but I don't want them to pose. When I was in 11th standard, I took this photograph, my best good photograph of my first in school days.
Yes. Next photo, please.
This
Yes.
is around 2011. I did a assignment for Odisha, Mangala Jodi. For the corporate, I was doing one assignment. It's a 2 years continuously I had been there. One of my best experience in Odisha, Mangal Jodi. Those days it was not well known. Now it's very well known for migratory birds. Yeah, we had to go by, it's a backwater, Silka Lake. With boat I had to take. That is the first time I'm shooting all the time, shooting from boat. So one of the memorable and very risky shoot also.
Wow. Do you want to know about your camera?
Yeah, this is I think it's a D4 because I usually I have all Canon camera. I think D4 those days 2011. Then it came D4S and D5. This is D4 and the lens is 600 mm frame lens. Yeah. And tripod is usually a gimbal head, and because I can do 360 degree, so that flight shot anything we can take. It's a carbon tripod, yeah.
And apart from that, the cameras which you carry, like what in one of your interviews I've heard that it's somewhere around 5.5 kgs.
Yes, yeah. Lens is that is a old 600 mm. It's a 5.5 kg lens, and the camera is I think for. I think 750 grams. I think not 1 kg, less than a little bit 1 kg. Yeah, it comes more overall. I think 6 kg something. This setup, yeah.
So, how do you get this much of strength? What is your health secret? How?
To be frank, those days I never expected I'll be carrying. I was so silly. I don't even eat egg also those days. Maybe because of my interest in photography, so I used to carry all the things. But definitely I do, it's a walking, we do lot of walking. Now to muscles strengthening and all, I do little bit yoga, exercise and all. We have to keep up body also to carry all the things. No?
Yes,
Definitely, not only for me, everyone has to, because full day I have to be in the field, like morning to evening, it's, we have to walk and we can't even sit also. So stamina has to be there. First initial few months carrying and all, after 1 week shoot, my hands are very tired. I need massage and all. After that, I'm used to it. So definitely I do a little bit yoga and exercise. And the field itself, I am walking. That itself big exercise. That also I do have muscles because carrying all the lens like this, no. So it's a good exercise also.
Wow. Next photo, please.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite, most photographed tiger in Ranthambore, Machli.
Machli.
Yeah, she's no more now, but she got award for the lifetime award because
From
now,
BBC.
yeah, the Ranthambore, now lot of other tigers are here. She said, Dadi, what do you say, grandma? All the tigers are her legacy only. Yeah, and most beautiful tiger. And in this instant, she was giving direct eye contact, and I have big prints also, most printed photograph.
It's like she's ready for a selfie.
Yes, yeah.
She's so beautiful.
So beautiful. You really see, not only Machli, any tiger in the wild, no, it's very magnificent and beautiful. Even our camera can't capture that beauty. Whenever I see, 1 minute, I just you have to watch. You have to enjoy through your own eye only. Because for camera and photograph, no, only 50% we could bring out the beauty and that handsomeness and magnificence. No, so really, tigers are very beautiful and. Even say handsome tiger and all, no? It's very beautiful.
Beautiful. Next photo, please.
I don't know where you got all this photograph. This is first photograph. After I starting taking photograph, because in photography, exposed for white color is very tough those days. Now with all the technicals, it's very easy. But still, a few new person, it's very tough. For me, this is one of my first photo. Okay, I used to post in forums and all. This is got photo of the week and few awards also. Like natural framing, it's a simple E-grade photograph. Okay, I thought, okay, I got it the white correct. Okay, I can take good photograph also. This is a basic camera setup I took. So it's one of my favorite. I got all the photo of the week in those days, all the forums and all.
Okay, that's it with the game session. Now we can go for the video.
Okay.
Okay, you can stop screen sharing. Ma'am, any recent experience which you would like to share with us? Because recently also you have been to many places, to many camps.
Many camps. Just now I came from Tataka.
Yes, ma'am.
But before the lockdown, I had been to Andaman. That's one of the Andaman usually think we won't be getting that much photograph and all. One of the most beautiful place. Along with photograph, I really enjoy the place also. It's a memorable trip, you can say. And before that also, I had been to Sikkim. That is one of my memorable photograph. Like I shoot Himalayan Monal and all. For me, each trip is different. Okay, each trip is special, some memories.
One.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start with the video.
Yeah.
ఎదురైనా ఎటు వెళుతుందో అడిగాన ఏం తోచని పరుగై ప్రవహిస్తూ పోతున్నా ఏం చూస్తూ ఉన్నానే వెతికానా ఏదైనా ఊరికెనే చుట్టూ ఏవేవో కనిపిస్తూ ఉన్నా కదలని ఓశిలనే అయినా తుడిలో కరిగే కలనే అయినా ఏం తేడా ఉందట నువ్వెవరంటూ ఎవరైనా ఇల్లాగే కడదాకా ఓ ప్రశ్నే ఉంటానంటున్నా ఏదో ఒక బదులైనను చెరబొద్దని కాలాన్ని అడుగుతూ ఉన్నా నా వెంటబడి నువ్వెంత ఒంటరి వనవద్దు అనద్దు దయించి ఎవరు ఇంకొన్ని జన్మాలకి సిరిబడు అనేక స్మృతుల్ని తగులు ఎరగరు నా ఊపిరిని ఇన్నాళ్లుగా తన వెన్నంటి నడిపిన చెయ్యూత ఎవరిది నాయనయను గుసలము గుమగుమలెవరివి కాలం ఇప్పుడే నన్ను కనగా అనగనగా అంటూనే ఉంటా ఎప్పుడు పూర్తవనే అవక తుదిలేని కథ నేనుగా గాలివాటంలాగా ఆగే అలవాటే లేక కాలు నిలవదు ఏ చోట నిలకడగా ఏ చిరునామా లేక ఏ బదులు పొందని లేక ఎందుకు వేస్తోందో కేక మౌనంగా నా వెంటబడి నువ్వెంత ఒంటరి మనవద్దు అనద్దు దయించి ఎవరు ఇంకొన్ని జన్మాలకి సరిపడు అనేక సృతుల్ని తరులు ఎరగరు నా ఊపిరిని ఇన్నాళ్ళుగా తన వెన్నంటి నడిపిన చెయ్యూత ఎవరిది నా ఎదలయను కుశలము అడిగిన గుసగుస కబురుల గుమగుమలెవరివి
That was a lovely AV. Thank you so much.
So next one, ma'am, we can go to the answering the session,
Yeah.
whatever people have kept in the chat box. So this question is from Reddy Prasad. What are the qualities that every wildlife photographer should have?
Yeah, the first quality is you have to respect your subject, okay, and you should have good field knowledge. And the technical aspect of photography should be at fingertips, because inside the forest there is no second attempt, there is no second chance. We can't reshoot. So, say technically before entering forest or any shooting, it should you have to be thorough with your technical knowledge and subject knowledge. Which subject, which pieces you are going to shoot, and when is the best time, where you will find, and photographically when is the best lighting, everything you have to know. And your most important thing is you have to follow ethics of wildlife photography. Without disturbing animals, without disturbing any species, you have to photograph. Yeah, that is the basic characteristics of good photographers. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So next question we have, how to achieve our goals in wildlife photography by doing our profession on the other hand. Like,
Yeah, definitely. I usually, even everyone started with the genre of photography because it took some time. In wildlife photography, overnight, I can't say that I want to become photographer, enter and doing and all. It took few years to make a name and to break through. So keep travel photography, others event photography. So along with this, you can do wildlife also. But after some time, you know that you can do full-time wildlife. That is the way to start. Keep something more where you have your bread and butter. More often you will get assignments and all. So you can do like this. Then definitely, if you are really love, you want to do it, then definitely you will become a success.
okay, ma'am. So what's the first feeling that you will get when you enter into the wildlife? What's the first feeling you got?
First feeling enter to wildlife.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. The first thing is, for me, as I told you, I am a nature loving person. For me, it's amazing. I really am overwhelmed to see the beauty of nature and all. Even for entering any forest or any places, I really love to be in the nature. First, I enjoy. Okay, it's a beautiful feeling. The photography comes secondary, and really I appreciate. Well, India, we do have beautiful place like Kaziranga, Jim Corbett, and before that I had no idea that we do have national parks in India. It's so much beautiful places. So for me, it's a real awesome, amazing, like Alice in Wonderland only. Any places, new places, I am amazed. And it was a beautiful feeling for me, going there and sipping birds and early sun, watching sunrise. I am not a early morning person. I never got up before 7 o'clock in my college days also. But because of wildlife, I usually got up 4:30. I do watch the beautiful sunsets and sunrise. And the nature is also very beautiful. That is the first form of feeling. It's a very peace also, very pure air you usually get inside the forest. That is the best thing in after the city and all. You get pure air and beautiful sceneries. It really regenerates and refreshes your mind. Even if you're not a photographer also, this feeling really regenerate and refresh your mind. And more important, you came to know more importance of our forest also. How wildlife is very important for the human beings also. So for me, it's a very amazing, still same feeling also. I feel very happy that you won't get anywhere, any shopping mall, you won't get the happiness and content.
That's true, ma'am. That's true. Next question we have, how a mobile photographer can start learning to become a good wildlife photographer?
Yes, definitely. Mobile photography nowadays it's a big, good genre of photography. Also, people are doing a lot of travel photography with smartphones with 4 MB. You can get a raw file also with few software app. You can get raw file also. You can get good photograph through mobile. You can learn how to compose. Okay, you even for wildlife also going to Africa, any national parks. You can use your mobile camera to take habitat shots with animals and habitat. So a lot of source materials are available on the net internet, how to compose, how to see your lighting. So to learning process, mobile photography is very good. Of course, if you know how to take, you can take good photograph with mobile and 4K video also with iPhone and all the high-end for the thing. But only thing for birds, we can't do much with mobile. Otherwise, animals like Africa, national parks, tigers and all, you can do a lot of photography with mobile camera. Only if you have interest, see differently, you can see really wide perspective. These days, wildlife with wildlife photography is a new thing. So mobile camera definitely helps. You can do a lot. Don't think that I don't have big high-end camera. Of course, you want a pro, you want a sell, that is a different thing. But you don't want to be you just want to be a hobby photographer, want to animals, then mobile camera is very, you can do a lot of things. Only thing, you know how to compose, how to apply your lighting, how to see. These are the things. If you attend any photographer talks or any resource are available on internet, then definitely a lot of photography you can do through mobiles.
Yes. And next question we have, what can you suggest to students to get successful in photography field? So
There is no step-by-step process in like any job. No, if you become, I want to be a successful doctor, I want to be a successful businessman. There is no such thing easy steps. Okay, it's like how you like your work, how passionate you are, how unique you are. See, someone wants to be pay you, someone wants to avail your service, then you should be unique, you should be different, you know? So then only people will hire. If someone is doing same thing and they can go for other person also. So we try to be unique, try to create your own style. Definitely then it will be a USP for your profession also.
okay, ma'am. So next we have, how long did it take to become an expert? This question is from Ayushman Mishra.
Same thing, same answer. It may be cliche, but the thing is, there is no such thing as a become expert. Few people are, I can see within 2 years, they become really good and doing a lot of good photography, and few people are doing a lot of many years still they have to cross the good photographer. It depends on how much effort you are putting, how much love you are having your subject, how much love you are having passionate about your work. So this wildlife photography, if you think as a job, then don't come. Okay, if you really love nature and wildlife, then you can come, because it's not like any other job. People who love nature, wildlife, then only you can come. Otherwise, it's not like, it's not for anyone. People want just a job purpose, don't come at all. Sorry to disappoint.
Okay, ma'am. Next one we have, how was your overall experience of photography?
As I told you, Silagari, for me, it's a way of life. I really like the process of making good images. Okay, for me, it's a medium to connect with nature, and because of photography, I am connecting with more people who love nature and wildlife through my social media, through my images. I am introducing my our Indian fauna and flora and birds and animals to other people who have the chance to go to the forest. No? So that is the way to showcase my work. I see like that only. For me, it's a process to connect, medium to connect nature. And personally, I'm very happy when I'm in the field. I love birds, people know. I love being in the nature. And the same thing, I would like to share my photograph with other people, students, everyone know. Just we have beautiful birds and animals, fauna and flora in our India. So we have to conserve for our future generation. No? So if we know the creating awareness, if we know how beautiful our birds and animals and all, then we think of we have to conserve. So the photograph is a powerful tool. For me, through this, I am introducing my other friends and fans, everyone, no? Like showcasing not only my work for them, I'm introducing our wildlife to them also. It's not everyone is having the chance to go there and watch them, no? So for them, through my media, they can enjoy watch. That is, if they really like, they enjoy. For me, it's a big takeaway.
Yes, ma'am. And another question is, in extreme conditions like dust, rain, etc., how to maintain lenses and camera without any damage?
Yeah, definitely. Inside the forest, there won't be no proper road. Lot of dust will be there. That's why you would have seen. We always now people are wearing mask, but we usually wear mask only. Lot of dust will be coming, not only for us and lenses also. So usually we cover. When my suit only I take, and once come back, it's like a baby we look after. Each suit, then I have to remove, I have to take dust, everything. And so much before, after long suit, I have to give service center. So we have to look after very carefully, and the dust is a big issue. But usually we cover with bag also, and water also, rain. For rain also, we usually have rain cover. We have to be very careful. We cover everything.
Okay. Next question we have from Ganesh. He needs a few tips for beginner bird watchers and bird photography.
Yeah. See, you don't think we have to go somewhere to do. For example, in wherever which city you are, find out there is something called eBird. Okay, it's an app. People who are into bird watching, they usually update the bird sighting in your area. For example, Chennai. Chennai, we do have places. People think Chennai, we don't have not many birds, but we have Pulikat Lake and lot of marshlands are there, Vedandangal. So usually people go there and they update the bird sightings. So if you are new, there are many, I think Madras Nature Society like Chennai and Bangalore also, a lot of photography clubs are there. Join the clubs and go to weekend trips. You can explore first what are the birds are available, take photograph. There is no need to go out of city, out of station. In your city itself, you can start your backyard if you are interested in insect and all. Macro also you can do inside near your city, around your town, nearest park also. So you can start from your home city also. Then later on you can go with the groups and all, you can travel other places. This is the best way to start. Lot of bird watching is very famous hobby. Many people are into bird photographer, bird watching are there. So I don't know which city, but find out definitely you have groups in your town. Join them. That is the best thing. Forget about you don't have lens and camera. Go there and watch them first. And really, if you want to photograph, then you can rent also. Camera lenses. There is no need of buying. So if you are interested, then you can go ahead, go and buy.
Okay, ma'am. And next question we have from Rohit Verma. He's telling, ma'am, I feel man and nature once used to live together, but now separated. Photographers act as a bridge to show us where we belong and the beauty of the nature. Your profession tells us how brave you are. Can you tell us how important nature is to the man's life?
I think from for the chair you are sitting, all the papers, everything, wood comes from the forest, okay, and all the most of the 70% medicines comes from the forest. And because of the even Amazon and all the forest act as a carbon sink. Without tree, imagine how hot it will be. Now already we are cutting the trees in Amazon, other rainforest. That's why we are changing the climate change. People are talking, no? So it's very important for the humans, not now for the conserving wildlife and forest. It's not for them. For Save Tiger means it's for us only we are saving. So from food to pure air coming from the forest, and most of the medicines are coming from the forest, and our livelihood, most of the livelihood, many people and us coming from the forest, but still we are we are cutting the trees and we are not planting. We are taking we are taking advantage from the nature. So I think not only photographers, everyone has to make an effort. Okay, so what we can do? What we can do? See, for the thing is, don't go for plastic. Okay, you can avoid plastic and go for the electric bills and all. You can go for e-bill. You can go for any e-bill. So you are saving the papers, saving the wood and all. So small thing we can contribute. Okay, it's very important. We are getting a lot of most of the 70% rivers are coming through the national parks. Okay, to conserving national park means we are saving our river waterbed, and most of the marshlands act as a water reservoir also. So most of the lakes are inside the forest. If we get dry, so many things we are completely depending on the nature and forest.
Okay, ma'am. The last question is, have you ever faced any animal attacks while in forest?
No, not any.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So now I request Bala Murugan sir to give the thanks vote.
Yeah. Am I audible? Yes, ma'am. Actually, your interview is very interesting. Really, we enjoyed by hearing your answers. And before that, I would like to ask one simple question. I do not know in what way it is related. That one, the crows, basically intelligent birds. We may find the crows only at village side township, whereas we are not able to find out more crows at forest. What is the reason, ma'am?
Actually, even forest is also there. We have big. We usually say the forest crows are there. Maybe you can see. Forest is also we'll find. It's there. But they usually go for the not fruits, and they won't eat fruits like seeds and all. So now they used to know more humans, so you will find cities and all. But they do live in forest also. I have seen.
Okay, being a bird photographer, which bird do you like most, ma'am?
Though I usually say I love all birds, but I do like green bee eater, because that is the first bird I started doing photography and experimented a lot of my photography skills. Still, I love green bee eater, but my favorite bird is Himalayan monarch. It's one of the beautiful, amazing, colorful bird you will find in Himalayas. It's like a peacock. It looks like a small peacock, but it's very beautiful, dazzling bird. That's I love Himalayan monarch, but my favorite you can say green bee eater. Simple bird, but I never tired of photographing them. They're very friendly and they're always active. I love them.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your answers. Bala Murali sir, do you have any question? Otherwise, I would like to render the vote of thanks to ma'am.
Actually, it was very nice show, ma'am. Actually, we have conducted several programs, and this is one of the excellent program, I guess.
Thank
so
you.
this should be rated on the top, I think, for the rest of the
Thank
next
your
year.
audience also. People who joined are still there without leaving. I hope they like today's session. Yeah.
I have one question, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
I cannot say it as a question. I just want your views. Like, there are certain professions or hobbies which cannot be taken up by everyone. I mean, based on their economic background. And photography is one such thing, I guess. Right?
It's very costly hobby.
How about you, ma'am? How about you?
See, for me, I usually stay still. It's a very costly hobby also, because other camera and all, you can go for street photography and all. Here, entering forest itself, you cost a lot. But still, most of I think other people are doing, doctors, engineers, software people are entering into as a hobby here. But for me, if you ask me, there is no need to think that's a costly copy. If you really like, you can start like bird watching from, like I said, no, within your with the mobile, you can do a lot of photography from your city itself. Okay, but still, I won't say it's not a simple thing. Lens, camera, and all, it cost really high. For me, my family is very supportive when I started initially that I did work and all. So it was I did do other genre of commercial assignments also. So it helped me a little bit to enter in this field. But definitely, if you are thinking that I want to earn a lot of money initially, then it's very tough.
Yeah.
You have to spend more money what you are going to earn.
Did you get any financial support from your parents in the beginning, ma'am, to start with your?
Definitely. With family support, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Initial days, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. See, really, it is a great session, as Dr. Balamurali sir said. Really, I hope all people have enjoyed your interview.
Okay.
Really, ma'am, see, as I said, even we officials didn't approach you. Our students only approached you. You accepted our invitation. Really, we are grateful to you.
Yeah,
So,
really, no, they're very good. They're the way of sending formal mails, emails, and all. Very good organizing.
yes,
skills.
that's why I said initially, ma'am,
Interest, yeah.
we have given full freedom to our students. We trained them, so they carry out. Even
Good,
last
sir.
year,
It's good. Mm.
last year during the academic year, we had around 60 to 70 programs, ma'am, apart from their regular academics.
Okay, yeah.
So,
So life skills also very important. Not only the academic marks will help you. Being in any profession like art profession or anything, be software, data, anything. No, life skills usually say no communication skills to interact with other people, and organizing skill also. Life skills are very important. Hope the team is having good experience. It will help you in the future also. Whatever profession they do.
Yeah. I would like to point out one thing, ma'am, what we had in the last year. See, after having one biodiversity talk by one expert, actually we visited the beach during what night time from 12 o'clock to the early morning 3 o'clock to observe the turtle walk.
Okay, that's great.
So, around 150 people took part in that particular program.
Wow.
So even many girls came for that event. So normally our VT students are doing good. They are great.
Definitely, it really helps to connect with nature, sir. You can go for when Vedandangal is open, the club can go for Vedandangal, other nature places nearby and all. No? It's really helps to connect with nature, how it works and all. For refreshing.
Yes, ma'am. Our management is also very magnanimous, ma'am, to provide all facilities to carry out our activities. In particular, as I said, no, we are creating one pond ecosystem in the campus. The management is supporting. So it is an initial stage because of this COVID-19 situation. We are planning to bring it in a big manner. So we have some big project in front of us. Probably after reopening the campus, we will start that project.
Yes, sir. My best wishes.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, we are eagerly expecting your presence, ma'am, in the campus. It is
definitely, sir. Once COVID over, definitely.
Definitely, ma'am.
When I will come, when I'm
to our campus, ma'am.
Yeah, in between shoots, I do have 3 days. Definitely, I'd like to visit and meet personally everyone.
We are eagerly waiting for that day, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, really, we all of you grateful to you making this day as a wonderful day, Remembrance Day, ma'am. See, on behalf of VIT Chennai and behalf of NSS VIT, we would like to record officially our thanks to you, ma'am. We would like to interact. We would like to have more programs with you in future.
Sure, anything regarding conservation, anything related to nature and animals, forest, I will be there. If my time permits, definitely I would like to participate and I would like to train. I would like to share my knowledge. I will be there, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So I would like to thank the management as well as the other program officer, Mr. Dr. Balamurali and Batanaban sir, the Director of Student Welfare, for supporting this type of activities in the campus, ma'am. So once again, on behalf of VIT Chennai, on behalf of National Service Scheme, we would like to record our sincere thanks and gratitude to you, ma'am, Thank you very much, ma'am.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.